What's up you guys, here I am again with a new video. A helpful one probably. Well, hopefully. In this video, we're gonna talk about some things that you should do your best to avoid if you're a beginner. And as for me, back then, I did most of these things that I am about to explain. Well, as you may already know, this game is not the best when it comes to holding your hand on your first journey. So, it's very common to see new players making wrong choices throughout their first few steps, and that's where I come in, to help you not to make the same mistakes that I did. So if you're a beginner, I think this video will be perfect for you, and hopefully this will help you progress better in the game. Well, let's get to it, and hopefully you won't skip the important parts. Well, automatic transmission is very simple and very easy to use, but sadly, in this game, it's not beginners friendly. Trust me man, it's not. So unless you know how to set up your own transmission settings, I suggest you stay away from it, because on most cars, if you're using the default transmission settings, trust me, that's just asking for problems, especially if you're on Drift 3 or below. And the most common one is that the gear will not downshift when you need it, and will give you an absolutely hard time when you're exiting corners, and this is a huge problem. And also, automatic transmission has a tendency to always wanna shift up, even though the higher gear doesn't have enough power to drift. And back then when I finally switched to sequential, my car ran 1,000 times better. So yeah, unless you're familiar with transmission setup, I suggest you go for the sequential. But it's okay to use automatic transmission if you're lucky and found yourself a trusted tuning source for your car, like this channel for example. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button so hard you'll make your neighbors subscribe too. And like this video to show some love guys. When you just started the game, silver is really hard to come by, and gold is even harder. So buying wrong cars is going to choke your progress in the game. And by the way, I say the wrong cars not because they're wrong like they're bad, like you should totally avoid it, but because those cars will be useless for you at the time. You know, there are events in this game, in which you can get some very good rewards from it. But you can only enter those events with some specific cars that they allow you to use. So if you're a beginner, I suggest you prioritize getting the low tier car first for all the events. And I said low tier cars because they're the cheapest options available. You know, money making 101. Well, who doesn't like beautiful cars, right? But the thing is, pretty looking cars does not equal to better drifts. Trust me, using more expensive body kits and more complex liveries will not increase your car's performance whatsoever. Aerodynamics and everything related to it aren't a thing in this game, and frankly speaking, I don't think it matters much in actual drifting either. Or maybe it doesn't matter at all. Your body kits and liveries are only good for attracting fans, and if you need more information about fans, you can watch my beginner's guide videos. Different tracks gives you different challenges, and some are harder than the others.
That's what she said!
It is important to know which track you should buy, because if you can't get R1 on the tracks you've bought, that will be a loss for you, except if we're talking about Castle Road Configuration 1, because that one, in my opinion, is the most profitable track configuration in the game, where you can make money efficiently. Sadly, there is no way to know which tracks are right for you unless you buy and try the track yourself, only to soon be regretting your choice. And because of this, I will make a video about it soon, so stay tuned guys.
Okay.
The benefits of buying more tracks are that you can have more chances to get more fans, and also more tasks which will give you some extra rewards given that you're able to complete them. This will help you make money quicker, but if you just can't reach the required score, or if your car's fence drawing capability is low, then that's gonna be a waste. Same goes with tasks. If you can't complete it, it's also a waste. Playing in multiplayer modes allows you to compare how you're doing with your drifting and your car's tuning to other players. For example, if you're using the starter Hachiroku,
シフトポイントが速いのはラリー用のクロスミッションを組んでいるから。
and your opponent is also using the same car and they manage to win, you can kinda try to assess why you're lost to them. I mean, if your car just can't keep up with theirs, that means your tuning probably is the problem. Or maybe you can catch up easily with them, but you keep hitting walls, out of track, or spinning out, then that probably means you still need to practice more. And ultimately, this will make you a better player. And also, multiplayer rewards are great. Now, I feel like this is the state most beginners are in. The first few campaigns are for you guys to learn the basics of drifting in this game. And then goes to how you put those basic skills to get into more advanced drifting. And then goes to Gymkhana, which is the hardest campaign in this game so far. And this one requires everything, and I mean everything. Just remember, campaign is a learning curve and aren't supposed to be completed in one go. The thing is, campaign requires fuels to run, so if you're not ready to take on the challenge, I suggest you practice more, or else you are going to just waste all your fuels. Trust me, getting stuck in campaign is the worst thing ever.
Stop, bro, I'm stuck.
So go play in other modes, enjoy yourself and have fun with the game. That being said, it doesn't mean that you should neglect it altogether. You should keep on trying to complete it because the rewards are really good, but just don't get stuck with it. Be patient and practice more. Trust me, you'll get there. Tuning is very important in this game. Let me just say this. Lower tier cars with good tuning are better than poorly tuned higher tier cars, but that also depends on how good and bad those tunings are. But the most important one is your playstyle. Let me ask you this, have you ever bought a tuning from the workshop and it turned out sucks? That's probably not because the tuning itself is bad, but because the tuner have different playstyle than you, so they tuned their cars like that. Take me for example, I made some tuning videos, which for me, they all works perfectly fine. And for some of you, they also works fine, but for the others, they don't. And that's how it will always be. And even if it works for you guys, there will still be some of you that feels like maybe it has too much of this, too much of that, not enough of this, not enough of that, and that's normal, because we all have our differences in playstyle.
Bullshit.
Also, tuning for aero and gyro control are gonna be different. And my tunings are strictly for aero control and will not work well with gyro. Also, transmission settings for automatic and manual transmission is slightly different. To put it simply, you can manual an automatic but you can't automatic a manual. Well, technically you can, but it just won't work well. And that's why you need to absolutely learn to tune your own cars to create the perfect tuning for your playstyle. And by the way, I also have a bunch of tuning tutorial videos which will help you learn. And they're pretty detailed too in my opinion, and they're probably one of the best tuning tutorials that you'll find on YouTube too. Well, you can check them out on my tutorial playlist and I'll let you be the judge of it. Alright, those are 7 beginner's mistakes that you should totally avoid. So what do you guys think? Did I miss anything? Is there something that you would like to add to the list? Let me know in the comment below. Any feedback will greatly be appreciated and welcome. And by the way, I don't mean to tell you how to play your game. By all means, go ahead and play it however you want. It's your game, have fun with it. I'm just pointing out some things that are better if you avoid them when you're a beginner. but go ahead and do them all if you want to. Well, don't forget to like this video if it's helpful for you, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you're interested in more future content from this channel. Love you guys, I'm out, bye!